What if I told you that your next promotion has less to do with how you work and more to do with how well you can lead other people to succeed? Because in the corporate world, the truth is promotions aren't just given to the best performers, they're given to the people who can make other people perform better. And that skill, building and leading winning teams, is the number one way to get noticed for leadership roles. But here's the catch, especially for women. This doesn't always happen naturally. We are told, work hard, keep your head down, deliver results. That's good advice for staying in the game, but not enough to rise to the next level. Today, I'm going to give you a complete playbook to fast track your promotions by mastering two things: team building and leadership visibility. By the end of this episode, you will know the exact leadership skills that will get you noticed, how to build a high performing team even without official authority, how to get visible without feeling like you're showing off, how to navigate bias so you're seen as capable and promotable. This isn't theory, this is strategy that you can start applying tomorrow. Let's start with why team building is one of the most powerful magnets for promotions. When senior leaders sit in a closed door meeting to decide promotions, here's what they are thinking: who can we trust with bigger responsibilities? Who can lead not just themselves, but a group of people to deliver results? This is why team building is a promotion magnet. It's living proof that you can scale results beyond yourself. For women, here's the gap. Many of us are labeled as hardworking or dependable, but not positioned as visionary leaders. There's still unconscious bias that links leadership to men. And if you're not seen actively leading people, you're often overlooked for the next step. The mindset shift that you need is from contributor to multiplier. As a contributor, your value is in what you do. As a multiplier, your value is in what you help others do. I have seen brilliant women remain in the same role for years because they never made this shift, and others leapfrog ahead because they were seen leading people even without a title. So, what does it take to be seen as that multiplier? That's where core leadership skills come in. So, what are the core leadership skills that will get you noticed? Leaders paint a very, very clear picture of what success would look like. They don't make generic statements like, we need to improve sales. They will make statements like, we need to hit a sales target of 2 million this year, or we need to increase our sales by 15%. That precision is what differentiates a good leader. The second core leadership skill is communication. I often suggest using the state, ask, and impact formula while communicating. State the problem, ask about the solution, and define the solution impact. For example, you can state that we are 10% below the target. You can ask with the solution, I recommend adding weekend campaigns. Do I have your go ahead? And the impact would be, this could close the gap by 7% before month end. The third leadership skill required is decision making. With decision making, a lot of people suffer with not having complete information and hence unable to make decision. Apply the 70% rule. If you have 70% information, make a decision and go ahead. Too late signals hesitation. Too early signals recklessness. The fourth leadership skill is conflict resolution. When you work with multiple people, conflict is inevitable. But one of the best things that help conflict resolution is defining success together. This helps people get out of power struggles and focus on what the end goal is. You could say something like, I hear your concerns. Let's define success together before we discuss how to get there. The fifth leadership skill is delegation. Give ownership, not just tasks. This will free you for higher value work. When I delegate, I always tell the person why I chose them. That single sentence, I trust you with this because you're great at client handling, changes how seriously they take the task. But even with these skills, your promotion hinges on one thing. Can you actually build a high performance team? Let's go deep into that. So, how do we build a high performance team? Building a team isn't about waiting for perfect people to land in your lap. It's about shaping the group you have into a winning unit. And you can do this even if they don't report to you directly. Here's my 9-step playbook that works like magic for performance and collaboration. First is start with the mission. Define the end goal. Why does it matter? And how it will benefit each member. For example, you could say something like, our goal is to launch these two products this quarter. This is the goal. What is the impact? It will result in big revenue growth for the company. And how does it impact each one of us? It will give good career visibility for all of us. So define the mission of the group very clearly using this framework. The second is pick the right players for the right job. If you can choose for aptitude plus attitude. If not, look for reliability, influence, and complementary skills. If you don't have the power to choose, try to pair low performers with high performers and give the low performers micro goals. The third step is to define clear roles. Use a RASI metrics to avoid any confusion and call out with the names each person's responsibility and make sure this is sent out to ensure transparency and visibility. The fourth step is to build trust early. How do you do that? You can do one-on-one check-ins, assign small wins early, and share challenges transparently. And you work with them together to resolve them. This will help you win the trust of your team members. Step 5 is to create psychological safety. How do you do this? Actively invite input, especially from quieter members. Call out their names, ask for their opinion. This will slowly build psychological safety for the team members. Step 6 is to set up simple systems. High performing teams do not run on memory. Use shared dashboards or trackers or something as simple as Excel to have all tasks clearly listed out along with the statuses, challenges, and next steps. Step 7, make work visible to everyone. One thing that has worked beautifully for me is putting all my people together in one shared space, physically or digitally, where each person can see what the others are working on. Why this works? Firstly, it creates healthy competition. People naturally want to match or exceed their peers' outputs. Second, it builds peer learning. Someone struggling can immediately reach out to someone who's doing well and ask for help. Third is it increases accountability and no one from the group can disappear from the task. Step 8 is to recognize publicly and correct privately. If any team member does well, praise them publicly. And if someone is making mistakes, correct them privately. Of course, if they continue the pattern of making mistakes, you have to make it public as well. But to start off with, correct them privately. Step 9 is grow people, not just projects. Stretch team members beyond what they normally do, whether it's presentation, sub projects, doing the demonstration, skill building. For example, you could have a shy person present a slide in one review. Now, this 9-step playbook is what will help you build a great team. Now, you might be thinking this is great if I have a formal team, but what if I don't? That's exactly what we tackle next. How to lead without official authority. Many women are given project lead roles without the title. This is your audition for leadership. Build influence by building relationships before you need them, being the most prepared person in the room, and following up with action items. Whenever I have led without authority, I overinvest in relationship capital before the project starts. That means taking time to understand people's priorities and showing how our project helps them achieve this. That way, when I ask for their help later, it's an easy yes. Leading well is one thing. Making sure the right people see you leading, that's where the magic happens. Quiet excellence kills careers. Reframe visibility as advocating for your team's impact. Now, there are 3 levers for visibility. First is regular leadership updates. I try to keep mine short. Here's what we achieved, here's the impact, and here's what's next. Second is speaking at meetings. Volunteer to present results, not just updates. And third is strategic networking. Build relationships with decision makers before you need them. One thing I do whenever my team hits a big milestone, I send a thank you email or I ask the leadership team to send a thank you email with every member's name listed. This is not just visibility for them, it's proof that I lead from the front and give credit whether it's due. And that's what you need to do as well. Of course, when you step into visibility, bias can show up. Let's handle that head on. So, how do you overcome gender bias in leadership perception? There is a small trap when it comes to women. Assertive men are often seen as leaders, and assertive women are often seen as difficult. The solution? Grace plus gravitas. What is grace? Use warm, inclusive language. Women, this is your core strength. What is gravitas? Decisive words, data back points. For example, if somebody is interrupting you while you're talking, you can say something like, Let me finish that thought, then I would love to hear your perspective. I have found that whenever I combine facts plus composure plus a slight smile, it shuts down bias faster than defensiveness ever could. So let's make a 3 week action plan for your promotion. Week 1, you start mapping your influence network. Week 2, start leading one initiative, even though informally. And week 3, showcase early wins to leadership. Your next promotion isn't a reward for your past work, it's an invitation to play bigger. Build your team, lead with impact. Make sure the right people see it. Because when you lead well, you don't just move up, you bring others with you. And that is real leadership. Thank you and see you again.